So it's late, and I'm wrapping up another day of watching sports all day. And I kind of wanted to sit down and talk about what that feels like. And I'm not specifically talking about one game or like a specific sport. I'm talking about just the experience of watching sports a lot. And I mean not like the average person. So to give you a little bit of context, I probably watch way more sports than regular people do, right? And I watch like a mix of sports. For example, during the day, I'm usually watching soccer, which football, but USA it's soccer, but football. Usually watching football from different leagues like La Liga, which has my favorite team, Real Madrid. Premier League. I do watch a little bit of Bundesliga when it's a good game. A little bit of Serie A when it's a good game. But mostly the two leagues that I really watch are Premier League and La Liga, Champions League, Europa League, Copa del Rey. Yeah, so anytime there's a really good game, I'm most likely watching. And then during at night we watch NFL, NBA, NCAA, football, a little bit of basketball. I watch a lot of sports. Or if I'm not watching sports, the TV is on basically sports talk shows, right? So from ESPN to FS1, uh, all day. So yeah, I could say I'm probably way above the average sports watcher in the United States. I had some thoughts about watching sports in the US and how different, right, it feels, how the time change from day to night really like, I guess, affects the sport, right? Because if at night it kind of feels like there's more weight, it feels heavier. Like, I don't know if it's because you spent all day already watching sports and then now it's night and you're watching sports again, or you're still watching sports. Like, everything feels much heavier. Like when I'm watching the 8 p.m. NFL game, or like the 10:30 basketball game, or the 10 p.m. Eastern basketball game, it just feels like now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm watching, but I don't know if it's not that it's not as enjoyable, but it's just a different feeling. It feels heavier. Usually the nighttime game starts, I've already watched either 5, 6, 7 hours of sports talk shows or one or two soccer games, football games from Europe during the day, right? And then now I'm getting into early, if it's weekday, I'm getting into early basketball, like 7 7:30 p.m. basketball until I go to sleep, like midnight, 12:30. So yeah, it just feels heavier at night. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I'm probably rambling on too much. So yeah, but at night I'm usually watching, but I'm also like processing everything I watched during the day and decompressing from everything I watched during the day. Daytime European football feels lighter. It feels like you're just more immersed into the game, right? Now, that's probably also have to do with my second thought, which is like the style of broadcasting. Because when you think about the style of broadcasting, the pacing and the energy of like watching day sports, it's very different from watching night sports. Because when I'm watching day soccer or day NFL, usually there's more than one game on Sundays, or if it's college football, there's more than one game on. So the pacing is much faster. It doesn't feel as spacious. It doesn't feel as like they're pumping commercials, they're pumping all type of storylines, they're explaining more, and there's more like of everything. It feels like you're actually watching sports, right? Because you go from one game to another. You can, if there's a break, you jump to another game. Or if you're watching football, not American football, football. If you're watching football, it's 45 minutes straight. So one half, you're basically watching 45 minutes straight, 15-minute break, second half 45 minutes straight. So you're fully immersed in it and you're watching it and there's no pause, and then after that it's done. So the pacing is much different during the day than at night. Like when I'm watching NBA, for example, at night, so many commercial breaks. It's like and forget it. Like for example, in football, you could have you say, okay, game's gonna be over in 15 minutes or in 10 minutes. There's 10 minutes left in the half. So after they add extra time between the 10, you probably have 12 to 13 minutes, and it's actually done. It's done. Basketball, you can say, okay, there's 5 minutes left on the clock. Those 5 minutes could literally turn into like 12, 15 minutes. The 5 minutes that's in the clock. And even American football, the night game or like the afternoon games, the 4:30 p.m. games, so many commercials and breaks. The 8:30 Sunday night game, let's not even talk about that. It's like the games. First of all, for the game to start, it's a long time. The game starts, they kick off, and they're like, oh yeah, commercial. They come back, the offense takes a few snaps, whatever, they're about to kick it back to the other team. They kick it back, commercial. And then we come back. It's like, anyways, but yeah, it feels heavier, even though it should feel lighter because there's so many breaks, but it feels heavier because now after watching the whole game, I'm trying to like get it done. I feel like it should be getting done, but it's not. It's just rambling on, and then there's a bunch of over explanation, and the analysis sometimes doesn't hit as good, and you're stuck because it's just that one game and you're trying to watch sport. Or maybe if you flip to NBA or something. But yeah, that's usually how the pacing changes how you're watching the different sports, right? And another thought was like the fatigue, right? Because as the pacing is changing, the later you get into the day, you're starting to be tired, but not because you're not enjoying the sport, but more because your eyes, your brain, with all this information that you're getting throughout the whole day from the different sports, it almost feels like you can feel the brain being like, okay, let me take a moment, right? So it's quite interesting how that plays out. At night, also, the attention seems to be different at night. The attention is like more chill. You're not as hype. You're even though there might be like a nice play or a big play during a game, you're not as jumpy. You're not as overjoyed with the plays. Yes, the play is nice. You're like, oh yeah, but the energy level is more relaxed now after you've consumed so much for the day. And when the broadcast is basically overproduced, it actually makes it harder to stay in, because you feel like they're giving you so much that at this point of my day, I really don't need all that. I kind of just want to watch the game so I can know that, so I can get to the ending of the game and then go to bed. I'm not really into all the overproduction, the commercials, and the same commercials like 5 different times during the same game, right? So you're like, let's go, speed it up, like I should probably be doing with this video. So I noticed that way more at night than during the day, just because, like I said, after that compilation of watching so many games during the day, at night it just becomes more of a chill moment, right? And also with all that commercial and all those breaks and all those side stories and all that stuff, it really feels like a big business, right? It feels like big business. It doesn't feel like I'm just watching sports to enjoy it. It feels like I'm being given, or not given, but I'm being shown, or like trying to be proposed, or like give so much more than just the game, right? Which I understand they have to make money, and there's like so many other things, but for the sports fan that I am, it just feels overproduced. It feels like too much when I'm just trying to enjoy one more game before I go to bed, before I call it a night, right? And I'm getting all this other information that I probably would rather just see what's on the field, what's happening inside the stadium, what's happening on the sideline, right? Like what kind of vibe is, you know what I'm saying? Like, or hear the coaches in the huddle, like what are they saying, that kind of stuff. So it's very interesting. So yeah, these are just some of the things that I always think about, and I was like, I should just kind of put it as some notes because I'm always thinking about how like it's so different between the different sports and between the day and between the night. So maybe you're experiencing that. Maybe you see some of my points, or maybe you don't, or maybe you actually like the overproduced things. Who knows? Yeah. So it's just some thoughts, and I figured I'd just kind of talk about it and see if you're kind of on the same page or if you think otherwise, or just but yeah, these are just some notes um that I have, and I figured I'd just share, see what you're thinking. Thanks for watching.